Howdy everybody, here today showing off my biggest gourd and talking about the number one most useful item I think that there is, just in general. You might think, the knife's been around forever. It certainly is one of, if not the most useful item ever, most multifunctional. Certainly is what most people would pick. But there's one thing that I think we overlook a lot. It's so useful, but it's not flashy, so we never think about it, and that is the fabric around us. Usually people go after a bandana or a shemagh. Both of those are great options, but I think the sniper veil gets overlooked an awful lot. Has a lot of advantages. So, for one, it's very cheap, but the camouflage ones are oftentimes printed only on one side. So you can actually wear something camouflaged in your day-to-day life, and people won't immediately see it and go, okay, why is that guy wearing camouflage? It doesn't stand out so much. But when you do want the camouflage, you open it up, and it can obscure a lot of room, a lot of area. So you can pick and choose whether you want to be camouflaged or not. You can pick and choose how many layers over you need, depending on whether you're trying to keep cool or keep warm. This stuff is actually one of my number one things for keeping cool or warm. I've had this one in particular for many, many years. So it's got some damages here and there from going through brambles, but I mean, it's even folded over in half. It's still as wide as, so my elbow's here, so wider than my wrist to elbow. Covers a ton of material. And when you soak it in water and reduce it down to just 1 or 2 layers, so something like this layers or less, this level of thinness to the material, even better when you only have one, can be thrown over your head or over your body, and especially if there's air underneath like this, you put it over like a big cowboy hat or a big bucket hat, there's airflow. And this mesh material has such a huge amount of surface area compared to normal fabric that as the breeze blows through it, the air around your face and head can be up to 10 to 15 degrees cooler than the air around you, depending on how dry the air is. So this is an amazing object for preventing heat stroke and keeping your body cool in intense heat. On the absolute flip side, if it's kept dry and doubled up layer over layer like I had it before, here it is 4 layers thick. So 4 layers of it like this wrapped around your face as a scarf. The netting is quite thick. You can't see my fingers through it anymore. But as counterintuitive as it might seem to wear a mesh scarf, when you breathe through it, you are letting enough air out that you don't get all the wet condensation on your face that'll make you more cold. Your face will stay dry and it won't fog up any glasses, goggles, sunglasses, etc. I'm even going to talk through it for a second. So I'm sure it muffles me slightly, but it really doesn't muffle me a lot. It goes to show how much can actually pass through this thing. The other thing is, even though I've put 4 layers of it this way, as far as the actual length of it goes, there's actually a whole lot of length left to this. You can wrap it around your head 3, 4, 5 times, depending how big your head is. I've got a pretty big one, and I've got a lot of beard and a lot of hair. I still can get a good 3 wraps across my face to really hold in the heat. What I usually do, if I'm being entirely honest, is I will start with this corner around one of my ears. I'll wrap this around my face, and I'll tuck that corner to help keep it held down, and then I will actually open this up to 2 layers and go over my face and head under my hat, and that will keep some of the warm, moist air around my eyes and an extra layer around my face, really holding in a ton of that warm, moist air. So it is a cooling aid, it is a heating aid, Of course, you know, it doesn't take much imagination to realize that that's a net. If you can cast that over a school of small bait-sized fish, or cast it over one large fish, if you get enough of this tangled around it, it'll tangle on fins. Maybe even very small animals, things like mice, would probably get tangled in this if you managed to throw it over them. So, has many uses beyond just the simple use as what it is. Another thing is, because it is simply so large, and there's so much material here, I can open up a big pocket in the middle, and I could throw in basically a small survival kit. I could throw in a water bottle, bit of food, a nesting cup for the bottle to cook in rice, and then throw in a bag of rice. You could get everything you need all wrapped up inside of here, and then tie it off. And let's say you made a bundle like that, you still have all this material to tie into a sling, and then you can actually carry it like a backpack. One thing I've seen a lot of people do is put things inside of it, you know, do something like this, put their things in the middle and wrap it over. So I'll let my arm be the thing. So wrap it over like this and tie a tight knot, like twist it around, tie a tight knot on it, that end, twist it around. My arm's a little bit long for this, but tie a tight knot on that end, and then tie the whole thing around them like a belt, like a fanny pack. So this is a backpack, it is a heating aid, it is a cooling aid, it is a camouflage aid. And I should probably go into more detail about the camouflage now. So, I'm no soldier. I've never been a soldier. I really would like to hope that I'm never going to be a soldier. But I do like to keep up on what's going on in the world. On both sides of the conflict in Ukraine, drones are everywhere. And one of the biggest things that AI used to identify what's going down is a very particular shape. The human face. Well, the squash face, but the human-esque shape. The distance of the two eyes, the nose, the mouth. The human face draws attention more than anything else. That human face will get your position every time. If you have a drone going over you and you don't want to be seen, the last thing you want to do is look at it. But if you have a drone going over you, you probably want to know what the drone is and what it's doing. So you want to look at it. So you're caught in a catch-22. But keep a close eye on that face there and tell me how obvious it is behind that. Yes, you know it's there so you can see the outline of those glasses, but the glint off of the glasses will be almost gone, and if you're just passing through, you don't know where that face is. That face is no longer obvious. Now you can wear that out over whatever shelter you're under, or you can wear it actually, you know, quite tight around your face. Even here, you know, I'll really tuck around my glasses, under my nose, under those glasses, really give you more of the human shape than you would ever get in reality. You know, no one would wear it that tight to their face. But it still doesn't really look all that much like a human face. Granted, again, it is a gourd. But those techniques can really help you hide, especially from humans, but also from animals. You know, you don't have to cover your face in hunting makeup while hunting if you've got one of these on you. Even more so if, of course, again, you're using the hunting side, the camo side. So, thinking about the value of this thing, you know, I should have shown you from the get-go the camo side while I was doing this. So, see, the gourd is tired of me. It does not want to wear the glasses anymore. But, you know, as an actual camouflage aid, this stuff is amazing. But when it's actually on you, I don't know how close of a simulation I can get out of the camera, but for your perspective wearing it, it's honestly a lot like that. Better, even. But you can pretty much see through it plain as day. It really doesn't obstruct your view, but it completely hides you from the other person or animal looking in. So it's not a hindrance to wear it, but it is very helpful for many reasons. So it's a bag, heat and cooling aid, camouflage, hides your position, hides you. Trying to think of other uses for it, but of course, like any fabric, you could ball it up if you've got to grab something hot off of a fire. You know, you got to grab your canteen cup handles. You can grab with the insulation. So yeah, there's a great deal of different things you can do with it, a great deal of different uses for it. So those are some things to think about. But yeah, I just wanted to share what in my opinion is the most versatile tool out there. It wouldn't be the only tool I'd take into the woods, but if I were only taking 3, this might be on that list. If I'm taking 4, it without a doubt would be. I'll probably take a knife, a fire starter, and a canteen, and then this would probably be my 4th. I can make rope a lot easier than I can make this. So, just some food for thought, something to think about. You know, what is the most ubiquitous item that I would say is useful to everybody from the perspective of someone who camped all my life, from someone who gardens all my life now, from someone who's a blacksmith and running a blacksmith shop on Etsy. This is what I would say is the most useful item all around. Use it every day, all summer, all winter. So, hopefully that gives you some ideas. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. Leave me ideas in the comments. What would you like to see me talk about next? And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.